What is up, guys? It is number one Panthers fan back with another video. I know it's been a while. Um, I missed this. I really did miss this. I've started to get an urge back to post videos like this more, and I'm excited, really excited. This football season is going to be fun to watch. A lot of fun teams, fun rookies to watch, and it's gonna be fun. And I was gonna go a quick rundown of what we got for my true comeback video. Um, First off, we're gonna talk a little bit about some hot NFL topics. It's not gonna be too long though, because we got a lot of other stuff to get into. We're gonna have NFL power rankings, all 32 teams ranked worst to first. Who do I think is the worst team in the league? Who I think is the best team in the league, and everything in between. And then we're going to do and what I'll do is I'll do this again. I'll do this right now, start of the season, and then probably around week 8 or 9, do another version of this where we've seen some teams, they played games about midway through the season. We'll see how it changed then. And then we'll go from that to the playoffs. And then we'll just do at that point I'll probably just do the playoff teams. And then week 1 predictions will be next. That I will do every week. A prediction for every game every week. Probably be posted on Wednesdays like tonight. Or whenever, might be seeing this Thursday, depending on the download. Let's see. And we got afterwards. Sorry, I stuttered a little bit. We got the Panthers predictions. We're going to predict the entire Carolina Panthers season and where I see them ending, whether they could win the division, that kind of thing. And let's get started with the talking hot topics. First off, about a week ago, the Dallas Cowboys traded star defensive end Micah Parsons to the Packers for Kenny Clark for 2 first-round picks in the next 2 drafts. The Packers' first-round pick in the next 2 drafts, and Kenny Clark. Now, what I will say about this trade, I'm giving the Packers an A+ because they also signed Micah to a 4-year, $188 million deal, highest paid non-quarterback in league history. But I feel like that's going to be, with every new contract is going to be that. Every new edge rusher contract is going to be that. This just felt bad. This is bad for Dallas, especially Jerry Jones, because the day after, so a couple days, not too long after they signed Deron Bland to an extension, was 4 years, $92 million. So you pay him, but not Micah. That doesn't make sense to me at all. If you're gonna pay a defensive player, you pay Micah. You don't trade him away for an aging defensive tackle who's still solid, but and 2 late first-round picks. They're gonna be late first-round picks. Especially now, they're gonna be late first-round picks. They were probably already gonna be late first-round picks, but now they're definitely gonna be late first-round picks. Probably in the mid-20s at least. Although with that trade, your pick will probably be in the top 10. Yeah, Dallas is gonna be bad this year. That defense without Micah, yeesh. Defense with it wasn't great. Now without him, yikes. Okay, let's see. Another one. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift, they're engaged. Let's move on. Who cares? I mean that's the truth. And then we got some big time extension news. The Washington Commanders signed Terry McLaurin to a 3-year, $96 million extension, getting the money he deserved, helping Jaden's development, and building on that for next season. It's gonna be huge. That's gonna be huge for Jaden and just for the entire team, because they got Debo. Debo ain't a wide receiver 1, especially not now. So it's going to be difficult for them. And then the Bengals giving Trey, not re-signing him, not extending him, giving him a $14 million raise, 14 or 16. Either way, he's going to be making $30 million this year. And then, but he's still gonna go be a free agent next year. He's probably not staying with the Bengals after this year, I would imagine. And that defense is bad. The defense is just Trey Henderson, and we don't talk about the rest. So, let's get into some power rankings. At number, we're gonna go first to worst, worst to first. 32. We're gonna start at 32, end at 1. Every team in the league. Let's get it. Starting at number 32, even especially as a Panthers fan, but just really as a football fan in general, it was hard not to go with the New Orleans Saints in this spot. I mean, what do they have? Spencer Rattler's their starting quarterback. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing saying that. I just drink water. Spencer Rattler's their starting quarterback. Their best player is mid 30s, 34, 35. He's gonna retire soon. They have no future at all. At least this year. At least the way it looks right now. No future at all. Kamara's getting up there. DeMario's getting up there. Cam Jordan's getting up there in age. They're all getting up there in age. And then Chris Olave can't stay healthy. Can't stop getting concussed. They're not going to win more than 2 games this year. They might not win 1. I would laugh so hard if they went 0-17. I mean, that's a real possibility with them. I honestly believe that. Although I could see them winning a couple trap games here and there. Okay, going in at number 31. There was some debate with this spot. I was going between the Titans, the Browns, and honestly, I'm really low on the Colts, especially after the whole QB saga with him and Anthony Richardson, Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Because it's Cam Ward's a rookie and they don't have a lot of talent around him, I'm going to go with the Tennessee Titans at number 31. Like I said, Cam Ward, rookie. They did do a good job in free. They signed Tyler Lockett. They still have Tony Pollard. They still have Tyjae Spears. That's a solid running back duo. Okonkwo could develop into something special. He's not right now, but he could be. Calvin Ridley's solid. That connection did look really good in the preseason. I will say that. We'll have to see it in a real game. I feel like they just don't have the best of schedules either. I could see them starting off rough, and then maybe by midseason I'd say midseason they'll probably be up a few spots. Not too far up though. I feel like this is a good spot for a team with a rookie starting quarterback. The only rookie starting quarterback as of right now, Cam Ward. And then going in at number 30. Again, was debating this time between the Browns and Colts because I like this quarterback situation even worse than the Colts. I went with the Cleveland Browns. I'm not saying Joe Flacco isn't good anymore. He's still solid, but he's not anywhere near what he used to be. He'll still sling the rock. So if you have Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku in fantasy, I have Njoku. Congratulations, you won. But other than that, it's rough. What I would do, start Flacco these first few weeks, see how it goes, let him handle the gauntlet of a schedule they have to start the season. And then throw in, I would personally go Shador around week 5 or 6, depending on how Joe Flacco did those first few games, and go from there. That defense is going to be bad. They're going to win, 3 games? That defense is going to carry them to the victories they do get. Which is why I have them this low. I feel like defense, while it is very important, you need somewhat of an offense. I don't think the Browns really have that right now. Or a decent quarterback to lead the offense. I don't think that'll be a good situation this year for the Browns. They're going to be in for a rough season as well. And then number 29, again, another debate. I was thinking about putting the Jets here. This is where I was thinking about throwing the Jets in here. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go with the Indianapolis Colts at number 29. I'm betting money on it. They will win no more than 5 games this year. With that quarterback situation being the way it is, they're probably going to start Daniel Jones the first half of the season. And if he sucks, which he probably will, they're going to throw in Anthony Richardson, and it won't be that much better. It'll be better, but it won't be too much better. So I got to see it to believe it with Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson. So I'm putting them way down here. And then they did make some good strides on defense, signing Travarius Ward and Cameron Bynum, I believe. And they made a good pick drafting Tyler Warren in the first round. That was probably the easiest pick of the first round. So that's good there. But that's really, other than Jonathan Taylor, Josh Downs, Tyler Warren, you don't have a whole lot of offense. I'm going to go with the Colts at 29. And at 28, this is where I have the first New York team, the New York Jets. At number 28, they got their new head coach, Aaron Glenn. Oh, I forgot to talk about Kellen Moore, but I mean, he's not really going to do much for the Saints. New head coach, Aaron Glenn for the Jets. Defensive-minded coach. They will have a really good defense that will keep them in games. I just don't know about Justin Fields. That's the main question. I did draft Garrett Wilson in fantasy because of that connection in college with Justin Fields. So I do think there is something there, but he doesn't really have a whole lot outside of Garrett Wilson to throw the ball to. And that they're going to have to run the ball a lot, I feel like, or they will run the ball a lot. I could see them wearing some teams down, winning a few games. But they'll probably be the same thing as the Colts. I don't see them winning more than 5 games. Even if that. They'll start off rough. I think they will start off rough. And pick number 27. Another team that has a very questionable receiving room outside of one mega talent that I have in fantasy. The New York Giants are going at 27. Do I see them being competitive? Yes. Do I see them being good? No. The defense will make them competitive. I will say that. That defensive line is going to be nasty. Dexter Lawrence, Abdul Carter, Brian Burns, and Kayvon Thibodeau. That's a nasty defensive line. I will say that. That's a nasty defensive line. Other than that, and Malik Neighbors, there's not a whole lot going up for you. Russell Wilson's not Seattle. You're not going to get Seattle Russell Wilson. I don't see that happening. I see them probably starting Russ a few games and then throwing in the rookie for the only other first-round quarterback, Jackson Dart, and they're around week 6 or 7. To maybe please the fans or save their job, might end up saving their jobs if they can see Jackson Dart develop into something, which he did look really good in the preseason. So I do hope for that. And then at number 26, who do I go with here? I'm gonna go. I really don't know. I'm gonna go. I mean, yeah, this division is rough, bro. This division is gonna be rough this year. Outside of Houston, give me the Jacksonville Jaguars at number 26. This is the part where it's gonna start to get rough to rank these teams. The Jacksonville really has nothing going for them. Right now, out of the teams left, or compared to the teams left, I will say that. They do have Travis Hunter. They do have Brian Thomas Jr. They do have ETN. Could see a breakout season from Trevor Lawrence. Josh Hines Allen is a good defensive end. But we need to see them under new head coach Liam Cohen develop into something. Which I'm not saying they won't. They just obviously haven't yet. Travis Hunter hasn't played a game yet. He could be lethal in both ways. Again, I have him in fantasy. I hope he's elite in both ways. I think he will be. But he's not yet because he hasn't played a game. We don't really know what this new regime looks like yet. It's hard for me to put them any higher. I could see them being higher by midseason, but not right now. At number 25, this might be a little hot take. This might be a little bit of a hot take. But I am going with the Dallas Cowboys at number 25. Yes, I feel like the Panthers, right? No. Now that I think about it, I don't know. No, this too low for Dallas. I will go. I was about to drop a bomb on y'all. Right now, all the teams aren't here. I could. I gotta be forgetting somebody. Okay, I think the number 25 team in the NFL, after making some trades, making some moves, I don't like their secondary a whole lot. I'm gonna go with another team I have in fantasy a big time player, the Las Vegas Raiders at number 25. Again, this is a team I hate putting them this low, but I have to. I hate putting them this low. But they're going to be the last of the bottom 8 teams. They're going to be the best of the bottom 8 right now. I could see them jumping up a few spots in the future. I could see them maybe even winning 8 games. Being an alright team with Pete Carroll, Ashton Genty, Brock Bowers, Geno Smith. They got some pieces over there, Max Crosby. They've got some pieces, but I just need to see it with this new Pete Carroll regime. I'm not saying he's a bad coach. I'm saying that I just need to see it. Which is why I have them above. Which is why I don't have them higher than. This is where I'm going to slot in my Carolina Panthers. Number 24. I feel like we'll be good this year. I feel like we will be better this year. I do see that. I see this winning 7 games at least. Or maybe even 8 games. Hell, maybe even 9. The defense still needs work. I mean, we did work on it in the offseason. Bringing in Merrick, Pat Jones, some other defensive pieces. Nick Skorton and Princely in the draft. Lathan Ransom in the draft as well. Drafting T-Mac number 8 overall. That could end up being big for us. And big for the team. T-Mac and Bryce could end up being a lethal duo. I just don't know yet. There's a lot of question marks with this team right now. It's hard to... As biased as I want to be and put them even higher, I can't. At number 23, we're going to go with the... This is where it gets a little bit rough. This is where we got... Right now, I don't believe in them a whole lot. Give me the Miami Dolphins at number 23. It's their offense will be good. That secondary is rough now, especially that you traded Jalen Ramsey. Minka should still be good for you, but I just don't see a whole lot outside of that. In that secondary, that cornerback room is rough. You still have Tyreek, you still have Waddle, you still have Tua, you still have Devon A-Chain. I still see that being a decent offense, or being a good offense, I should say. But with the schedule, they don't have the best of schedules, and they also do not have the best cornerbacks either. So I'm gonna put the Miami Dolphins here. This is the part. I will say this is the part where I am kind of struggling a little bit. At number 22, this is where I have. They did make some really good moves in the offseason, especially on defense. They usually are very mid. I'd see them being the same way this year. I would like to be proved wrong. Give me the Arizona Cardinals at number 22, the first of the NFC West teams on here. I feel like they are a little bit better, a little bit worse than the Seahawks. Spoiler alert. The Seahawks not too much higher than this. They still have Kyler. You still got Marv. You still got Kyler. Trey McBride's a dog. And they made some good moves on defense in the offseason, signing Josh Sweat and drafting Walter Nolan and Will Johnson. That should end up being a really good draft for you. But when I looked at that draft board after it happened, I was like, yeah, they won this draft. They were one of the winners of this draft. I do hope they develop nicely, and they should. Just gotta hope for that Kyler breakout season, man. It's got to be coming soon, right? Then at number 21, this is where I have. Right now, I know that this is low. I know that this is very low for them. Okay, I'm really debating here. Give me Dallas at 21. Give me Dallas at 21. Obviously said that defense without Mike is going to be rough. And then I will say the offense is going to be it's another Dolphin situation, I think. Their offense is going to be good. It's going to win them a few games. To be honest, the offense is what got them this high. If they didn't have the offense that they had, if they didn't have CD, if they didn't get George Pickens, they would be probably towards 26 or 27. That's how bad I think that defense is. And I don't know, carrying I think this offense is going to do. Which is why I don't have them maybe even in the top 20 is because of that run game. Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams and Jaden Blue is not going to win you football games. That running back room is not going to win you football games. I'm sorry. It's just not going to. Unless Miles Sanders or Javonte Williams has some kind of resurgence, or Jaden Blue is the best fifth-round running back ever, then they're not going to do much. Although I do see Dak throwing for a lot of yards, CD and Pickens having a lot of receiving yards. So this will be a good offensive year. They got Schottenheimer as the head coach. Probably the worst of the head coaching hires, if I'm being honest with you. But I do see that offense leading them to more victories, probably about 7 wins for Dallas. And then at number 20, this is where I have the Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold, QB, we'll have to see how he works out there. In Seattle, signing that 3-year, $100 million contract. They trade Geno Smith to the Raiders. Mike McDonald's your head coach. That defense is good. You got Witherspoon. You got some guys there on your defense. You got Leonard Williams, some other guys on that defense. However, Cooper Kupp may not be the best compliment to JSN. To me, he's just a white JSN. White, older JSN that gets hurt even more. So I could see some issue with that, with his health. Who knows if Kenneth Walker's going to still be good. It's going to depend a lot on that offensive line, and if Kenneth Walker can stay healthy, I think that offense will roll. I don't see that working out a whole lot, which is why I have them a little lower on here. But I do see them being a decent football team. I do see them being a decent middle of the pack football team. Towards the lower end of the middle, but middle pack. Middle of the pack. And then at 19, this is where I have the Chicago Bears. This is where I'm going to have the Chicago Bears. This division is going to be rough. That's mainly why they're lower. But they did get Ben Johnson. They did draft Colson Loveland and Luther Burden in the draft to improve that offense even more. And I don't see a whole lot working out for them division-wise, but I do see them being a good team. They'll be a decent team. They'll probably be an 8-9 win team, but that division is very rough. Minnesota, Detroit, and then the Packers just got Micah Parsons. That division is rough. I could see them being higher on the list later in the season, but right now they slot in at number 19. At number 18, I have right now my division rivals, the Atlanta Falcons, at number 18. Another bird team off the board. They cracked the top 20. The reason they're not higher, I do like the moves they made in the offseason. Them drafting Jalen Walker, trading up to draft James Pierce. Although I don't like the compensation. I do see that as a good move. But they're gonna be towards the middle of the pack. They're gonna be around an 8-9 win team. Again. They've been that for the last 3 years now. They've been 7-10 and 8-9 the last 3 seasons. I just see that again. At this point for the Falcons, I just see that again. I'm not saying Michael Penix could be bad. Drake London looked really good with Michael Penix, so if you have him in fantasy, good luck to you, or congratulations. And then Bijan Robinson, same thing. I just don't know. You got some young pieces on defense. You got a young, still mostly inexperienced quarterback. We got a head coach. I'm not sure how good he really is. He's decent. I mean, he's okay, I guess. But he's not the best of head coaches. So I'd say that holds you back a little bit, which is why I have them slotted in here at number 18. And then at 17, this is where I have the Cincinnati Bengals. They could still be a good team. I'm not saying they won't be a good team. They'll probably be a 9-10 win team. That defense will keep them from being a 12-13 win team. Like, they would be in the top 8 at least with a good defense. Because that offense is that good. If they had somewhat of a defense, they would be top 10. That would put them up 7 spots automatically. A good defense. That's all you need. But they don't really have that. But they do have Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. They locked them up for a lot of money. They spent a lot of money in the offseason on those 3 guys. Or at least Jamar and T. They already had Joe locked up. But they're spending a lot of money on 3 players, which I don't think that's going to work out too well, if I'm being honest. Although I do see that offense being one of the best in football. But the defense is going to be the worst in football. The worst in football. This is why they're this low at number 17, which is why they're still in the bottom half of the league. And now we get to the top half of the league. This is where I have... This is where I'm going to slot in. I do think they'll win the division because of their schedule outside of the division. But I don't think they're the best team in their division. This is hot take. I know y'all are thinking there's a team I still haven't said yet, but just hear me out. I'm gonna put the San Francisco 49ers at number 16, mainly because of injuries. They got CMC back, which is why they're not lower on this list. I was considering to put them maybe in the 19 to 20 range, but they still have CMC. You got Nick Bosa, Ayuk and Jawan Jennings are both dealing with injuries. I believe they have other receivers dealing with injuries as well. So Ricky Pearsall is going to be that guy going into week 1, unless you traded Debo. They still have Kittle. You still have Brock Purdy. You still have some guys that can get it done. And that defense downgraded bad. That defense downgraded massively. Losing Dre Greenlaw and Hufanga to the Broncos, and then losing Ward to the Colts. Massive losses on defense. Although you do still have Nick Bosa. You drafted Michael Williams in the first round. I could see that working out. I need to see it to believe it again with these rookies. But I do see them being a good team this year. They're going to be a good team this year because their schedule is very soft. But there's still some flaws in them that have them at number 16. And then at number 15, if y'all I'm sure y'all are waiting to hear their names. The New England Patriots are slotting in at number 15. I love what they did this offseason. They got Milton Williams, Carlton Davis in free agency, along with some other pieces, like I think Robert Spillane's on there too. They got some pieces in the draft. You still have Christian Gonzalez on defense, one of the best corners in football. You sign Stephon Diggs, get Drake May, a real weapon. You draft Travion Henderson in the draft. You get Travion Henderson in the second round of the draft. I think he's going to be a dog in that offense. I don't know why I'm blanking on who they drafted in the first round. Oh, Will Campbell. They got Will Campbell in the first round to protect Drake May. That's going to be huge for Drake May's development, saying he'd be willing to die for him or something like that on draft night. The Patriots are going to be a very dark horse team this year. I see them. They could make a playoff run. I could see them maybe not winning a playoff game, but I could see them making the playoffs. And then at number 14, this is where I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Mike Tomlin's still going to get that team to a winning record. They did upgrade at quarterback with Aaron Rodgers compared to last year. I would say it's probably the best quarterback they've had since Ben retired. And they traded for DK Metcalf, although they traded away Pickens. I mean, that's kind of a balance of the force type thing. They drafted Derek Harmon, Caleb Johnson, Will Howard, and he's the future quarterback. And some other pieces, I think Jack Sawyer too. I think they drafted Jack Sawyer too. They'll be a good team. They'll have a really good defense. And a solid offense. They'll have a solid offense. I'll say that right now. And again, really need to see Aaron Rodgers if he can still go. I think he can, which is why I still have them this high. We'll have to see. And excuse me. That defense is still going to be scary. I forgot to mention, they traded for Jalen Ramsey. They signed Slay in the offseason as well. They got some pieces in that secondary that could really help them out and make them even better than they were. The defense even better than it was last year. I mean, that's hard to do, but they could do it. And at number 13, this is where we start to get to the top here. Right now, this is only because of any quarterback inexperience. Give me the Minnesota Vikings at number 13. Their roster outside of JJ is great. Don't get me wrong. Their roster outside of JJ is great. Again, we haven't seen JJ play. I mean, I'm sure he'll be good. Every quarterback under Kevin O'Connell has been good. He made Sam Darnold into a Pro Bowl quarterback and an almost MVP quarterback. But JJ's coming off of ACL tear. Didn't see a whole lot in the preseason. I do think that roster and that defense is going to be really good again. Like I said, the roster outside of JJ is really good. Again, we just need to see JJ perform. Which is why I have the Vikings at 13. If I'd seen JJ play, if he had played last year, or if I'd seen more out of him, seen more from him, I would probably have Minnesota in the top 10. But right now they're at 13, and they could easily be, if JJ's good, they could easily be in the top 10 by the time I'm doing these again mid-season. At number 12, this is where I had the Los Angeles Chargers. They're going to be a really good team. They're going to be a really good team. They're in a really tough division. They made some good moves in the offseason. They brought Keenan Allen back. They tried to bring Mike Williams back too, but he retired. They drafted Amarion Hampton, signing Najee Harris, so that's a pretty good running back duo. Although that receiver room's still rough outside of Ladd McConkey. I mean, Quentin Johnston's not the best. They got Keenan, like I said, they got Keenan Allen, so maybe that changes. Right now, it really hasn't. And that defense is still gonna be really good. They lost Asante Samuel Jr. to nowhere yet. He's not, for some reason, hasn't signed with the team yet. I think he's probably the best free agent available. I've been begging for the Panthers to try and sign him. That defense is still really good. You still got Khalil Mack. You still got some dogs there like Tuipulotu, Derwin James. They've still got some really good pieces there on defense. And you've still got Jim Harbaugh, as your head coach. So they'll still be a good football team. They'll still be a good football team. Then at number 11, this is where I have... Oh, this is really tough. I'm debating between a couple teams. The Lions, the Texans, and the Buccaneers. I really like the Lions roster, so I'm not going to pick them. I'm going to go with the Bucs at 11. So our first division, so the best team in the NFC South. That's no debate. If Godwin comes back healthy, that receiver room is going to be lethal. Now, especially that they've got a run game with Bucky Irving, that offense is going to be scary, and that defense could be too. They've made some solid moves in that department as well. Signing Hassan Reddick, drafting guys like Ben Morrison, and I believe Jacob Parrish, I think, was their other pick, other day 2 pick. So they've made some solid moves on defense, and that our division is bad outside of them and the Falcons, and hopefully us this year, but still that division's not great. It's probably still the worst in football right now. Until the AFC South takes that title after this year. The Bucs will still be an elite team, and I think Emeka Egbuka is going to be really good for that offense as well. It'll open up a lot of things for Evans and Godwin. And Baker coming off of top 10 season, top 5 season, I think even. So yeah, give me the Bucs at 11, and give me. Right now, I know there's some teams left on here that y'all are wondering why haven't they been said yet? Give me at number 10. I am going to take the Houston Texans. Again, same thing with the Bucs. Bad division. That offensive line's got to hold up. The offensive line has to hold up for them to stay this good, stay a contender. They're probably still going to win the division regardless, no matter how good that offensive line is. But still, that offensive line needs a lot of work. And I think Dell's going to be probably out the whole season, I believe, with that ACL injury. They've got Nico Collins. Joe Mixon's hurt, but I really love the defensive talent they have there with Will Anderson, Danielle Hunter, Stingley, and Kamari Lassiter in the secondary, and Hunter and Anderson rushing the QB. That defense is going to be really good. I see them as a 10-11 win team. I have them at number 10. Now, this is a little bit lower than it would have been last year. Right now, give me the Detroit Lions at number 9. Because they still have a great roster. They still have pretty much the same roster as last year, and they did upgrade at some positions. with DJ Reed, drafting Tyleik Williams. They did upgrade to some extent. But losing both coordinators to head coaching jobs is going to be rough. It's going to be a little bit of a rougher start to the season than maybe they would hope for. Like I said, I'm saying that they could be top 5 by the time I do this midseason, depending on how that all gels with the new coordinators, how that same roster gels with the new coordinators. I mean, it could not matter at all with that roster they got. So who knows? At number 8, this is where I have the Washington Commanders. I feel like y'all are gonna say they're probably a little high. They might be, but after last season, it's hard not to put them this high. In the top quarter of teams. So I'm gonna put the Commanders at 8. They traded for Deebo Samuel. You've still got that same defense as last year. Dan Quinn was a better coach than I thought he would be last year. Hopefully they can build on last season with extending Terry. And then you got Jaden still in his second season. That team's going to be scary, man. That team's going to be scary. You got Marshawn Lattimore. You got Lattimore last season. And then secondary. And they've got some other good defensive pieces to work with. And they did have a really good draft. Getting Josh Connerly Jr. in the draft and also getting Trey Amos in the draft. And who knows, even getting Bill Krosky-Merritt in the 7th round could end up being good because they traded Brian Robinson to San Francisco. So they did have a really good draft, and I feel like they made some really good moves in the offseason as well, which is why I have them at the number 8 spot. Now, at number 7, this is where I have the Los Angeles Rams. They're going to be a really good team, especially if Stafford is healthy. Getting Devontae Adams in the draft, getting an extra first-round pick for next year. I know that has nothing to do with this year. But that's going to be really helpful for them building down the road. If they have a healthy Matthew Stafford, that offense is going to be elite. And that young defense can build on what they did last season. They'll be one of the top contenders in the NFC. No question about it. And then number 6. This might be a little high. Give me the Denver Broncos at number 6. That defense was already elite last year. And you add Dre Greenlaw, Talanoa Hufanga in free agency. Also getting Jahdae Barron in the draft. Also getting R.J. Harvey as your running back, probably running back of the future. And that offense last year was really good. Bo Nix showed a lot of promise with Sean Payton. Sean Payton did a great job with him. I think they continue that and maybe even improve on that, especially with drafting Harvey and even signing guys like Evan Ingram and J.K. Dobbins. That team's going to be hard to stop this year. At number 5, this is after the Micah trade. This is where I have the Green Bay Packers. I feel like before the Micah trade, they were probably 9 or 10. But now they're top 5 with the Micah trade. You already have that offense. If Matthew Golden pans out to be anything of his first-round talent or his first-round value, that team's going to be special. You've got weapons. You've got Josh Jacobs running the ball. Jordan Love can hopefully take another step forward with Matthew Golden and with those receivers. Well, it feels like they have like 5 wide receiver 2s. but that defense now is going to be insane. Insane with Micah and Rashawn Gary too. And hopefully guys like Devontae Wyatt and Lucas Van Ness can take that next step to make this defense even better. But they're not going to compete with the other 4 teams on this list. That's why they're at number 5. This is as high as I could put them. At number 4, this is where I'm going to have the Kansas City Chiefs. They made the Super Bowl last year. Kelsey getting engaged, although nobody cares. They're still the Chiefs. They're still going to be contenders every year as long as they have Andy Reid, Mahomes. And there's really not too much to say outside of that. Rashee Rice is going to be suspended, I think, 6 games. But still, they're going to be a really good team. It's the Chiefs. And number 3, give me the Buffalo Bills. They got the reigning MVP, Josh Allen, just getting married. Actually, someone who was one of my crushes growing up. As long as Josh Allen's the quarterback, they're going to be a top 5 team in the league, and now top 3. So they could build, if those receivers can pan out to being anything. This team's going to be elite. I feel like that defense is going to be elite, but they're just not either of these top 2 teams. And at number 2, this is actually really hard for me. It's harder than it should be. But I love what the number 1 team did, which is why I'm putting the reigning Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles at number 2. And then the Baltimore Ravens at number 1. The Ravens made some really good moves, and the Eagles lost a lot of pieces, especially on that defense. I mean, they're still going to have the same offense, which is why I didn't put them any lower than 2. They're still the reigning Super Bowl champs, so they're still going to be competitive, obviously. The top competitor in the NFC. But I just love what the Ravens did this offseason. Signing Jair Alexander. Drafting Malachi Starks and Mike Green. Also signing D-Hop. Like another extra weapon for Lamar. This team was already elite last year. They could win 14 to 15 games this year. I honestly could see that in their future. It's going to be a fun season for the Ravens, for Ravens fans. I can honestly see them winning the bowl this year, probably over the Eagles. Okay, so let's go one more time, quick run through. 32 through 24, we have the Saints, Titans, Browns, Colts, Jets, Giants, Jaguars, Raiders. Then 24 through 17, Panthers, Dolphins, Cardinals, Cowboys, Seahawks, Bears, Falcons, Bengals. Then 16 through 9, we have the 49ers, Patriots, Steelers, Vikings, Chargers, Buccaneers, Texans, and Lions. And then the top 8 teams we're counting down. The Commanders at 8, Rams 7, Broncos are 6, Packers 5, Chiefs 4, Bills 3, Eagles 2, Ravens 1. And that is it for the power rankings. So we will move on. Now what we are going to do, after I take a quick water break, refreshing. That's it. Is predict week 1 of the NFL season. Just all week 1. This is something I'm gonna do. Try and get out to y'all every week. Predictions. I might add a score in there if I have a feeling about a score. Right now, I'm not gonna go too far into the score. I'll just go into who I think is gonna win. So tomorrow night, it's really hard to believe it's tomorrow night. As I'm recording this, it's tomorrow night. The Philadelphia Eagles host the Dallas Cowboys to start the 2025 NFL season. And without Micah Parsons, especially the Eagles being the much better team already, I got to go with Philly there. I mean, there's not a whole lot to be said there. Reigning Super Bowl champs versus a team with a new head coach and a lot of new moving parts. And Friday, this one was a tough one. This one's been a tough one for me to choose. Chiefs at Chargers, or technically at Chargers, but it's in Brazil. On Friday, I'm going to go... This one was actually tough for me to do. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Just because I feel like it's hard for them. They don't usually go 0-1, and I don't see them doing that now. It will be a tight game, though. Probably 27-24, something like that. Okay, moving on to the early Sunday slate. Starting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Atlanta Falcons. Give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're the better team within the division. I feel like they will be the best team in the division. That offense is going to torch this young Falcons defense right out the gate, and they're going to probably make things hard for Michael Penix. Okay, cut that out. I'm just kidding. Don't worry about it. Okay. I could see this being a shootout. This probably will be a shootout, probably 35-30, something like that. The Bengals at the Browns. This game's going to be boring. Give me the Bengals. I mean, it's really hard to not go with the Bengals. Even with how bad the Bengals defense is, the Browns offense is worse. It'll be hard not to go there. Not to go with the Bengals. This is going to be like a 23-10 game. It's going to be by a couple scores. Give me the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow. Next up, we got the Miami Dolphins going into Indy, going in to take on Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts. Dolphins next. Yeah, like I said, the Colts will be bad this year, and I see that starting in week 1. The Dolphins won't be a whole lot better, but they'll be better than the Colts for sure. I feel like they especially will be week 1. Okay, next up we got the Raiders with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's Raiders coaching debut going into Foxborough against the Patriots, and Mike Vrabel's Patriots head coaching debut. Both of these guys have obviously been head coaches before. It's hard not to go with the Patriots. Like I put in my power rankings, they're the better team. In my eyes, they made more moves this offseason. Genty's first game, he's probably not going to... I hope he does do well. I have him in fantasy, so I hope he does do well. But he's not going to blow anything out the water. He might, hopefully. But I don't see that as a realistic possibility, especially with all the moves they made on defense, all the moves the Patriots made on defense. And right now, at this point, I feel like the Patriots have better coaching, and the Raiders secondary is not good, and the Patriots do have an improved wide receiver room. Give me the New England Patriots over the Raiders. And let's see. Next up, we got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the New Orleans Saints. Cardinals next. The Saints are trash. No, but seriously, this should be a blowout. The Saints really have nothing going for them. Next up, we have the Steelers at the Jets. What are we doing here? This is going to be a rough game for people's eyes. It is revenge games for both Aaron Rodgers and Justin Fields. They swapped teams this offseason through free agency. I know it's in New York. The Steelers have the better defense, and the Jets don't have as good of an offense. The Steelers won't put up a whole lot of points, but they will put up more than the Jets. Give me the Steelers to beat the Jets in week 1. Aaron Rodgers returned there. And then we move on to the Giants at the Commanders. The Commanders will win it by a touchdown at least. I see the Giants defense keeping them in it for maybe the first half at least. If that. First half, if that. But after that, JD5 is going to go off. I see him having a really good game, especially in a really good second half. Commanders take that one with kind of an ease. And next up, here's where it gets good. We have my Carolina Panthers going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm taking the Panthers. I'm sorry. It's writing on the wall. Every year we face the Jaguars week 1. Ohio State wins the national championship. Something happens with Jennifer Lopez's dating life. We win the Super Bowl. Or, no, we don't win the Super Bowl. We go to the Super Bowl. I'm just saying. Well, I do think it'll be kind of a close game, though. I do see Steph taking for Bryce forward. Continue stepping forward. Okay, next up, we have the Tennessee Titans, Denver Broncos, and the Denver Broncos. Cam Ward's NFL debut. Official NFL debut, I should say. The Broncos. They're going to make Cam Ward the life of living hell. That defense is going to make Cam Ward the life of living hell. That's all I got to say to that. And then that offense is going to put up enough points. I could see this being like a 24-7 game or something like that. It's going to be rough to watch for Titans fans. Next up, we have the San Francisco 49ers and Seattle Seahawks. This was one of the harder ones to pick. I feel like the last 5 games here were pretty hard to choose. But honestly, I know I had them lower in the power rankings, but I'm going to go with the Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Seahawks to beat the 49ers week 1. Like I said, the injuries, the losses on defense might hurt the 49ers, especially in week 1. I don't see all that gelling yet. So at least in Seattle, I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks to win this football game. Then the Detroit Lions at the Green Bay Packers. The Detroit Lions, they have a lot of talent. Still, they still have Hutch. They still have Jared Goff. They still have all these weapons on offense. But in Lambeau, I don't know. I know I had the Packers higher in the rankings. I'm going to go with my gut here. I know Micah Parsons is questionable right now, but he's probably going to play. In Lambeau, I got the Packers. That defense is going to lock Detroit up. I see this being like 23-19 or something like that. It's going to be a close game for sure, but give me the Green Bay Packers. And then the last of the 4:30 Sunday games have the Houston Texans taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford's already confirmed he's playing. It's confirmed that he's playing, I should say. It's hard not to go with the Rams here, especially considering the Texans O-line versus the young, talented Rams defensive line, front seven. And that Rams offense has a lot of firepower. I feel like they're going to score enough points on that Houston defense to win this football game. I see the Rams winning this. It's going to be close. It's going to be a one-score game. But I see the Rams taking this one, especially with the offensive line struggles and other injuries on the Texans' offense. So this was the hardest game of the week for sure. The Sunday night football game this week is the Baltimore Ravens at the Buffalo Bills, divisional round rematch from last season. The two top MVP candidates from last season. Yeah, the Ravens were my number 1 team. I'm sticking with my gut. I'm going with the Ravens. I got to go with the Ravens here. They're just to me, at the moment right now, they are just the better team. Although I do see Josh Allen keeping the Bills in this and making this a shootout, making this a really fun game to watch with his arm and legs. I do see Lamar and Derrick Henry in that offense putting up enough points to outscore the Bills. It's going to be a shootout, though. I would say 31-27, Ravens win. It's going to be a really good game to watch. And the Monday night game to cap off the week and week 1 predictions, my first predictions in a very long time. Give me the Minnesota Vikings to defeat the Chicago Bears. In a good game. I will say it'll be a good game. Like I said, we don't know JJ yet. I know he's going to play, but I don't know how he plays yet. So, I will say, though, I feel like the Vikings do have the better coaches. Obviously, more experienced coaches. I feel like Kevin O'Connell will always get the best out of his guys. Which is why I'm going to take the Minnesota Vikings. It'll be close. It'll be a nice thriller game. But give me the Minnesota Vikings to win week 1 against the Bears. So now we move on to the third or fourth and final part of my comeback video. We are predicting and maybe even talking a little bit about the Carolina Panthers season upcoming this year. We're gonna do a record prediction for the Panthers. That's what we're gonna do. This is where I'm trying not to be biased. Like I said, in week 1, I have them beating the Jaguars. And I know we were higher than both of these upcoming teams on the power rankings. We were lower than both these teams, I should say. We're gonna beat the Cardinals because we always beat the Cardinals for some reason. We always beat the out of them. And then week 3 in Carolina, I feel like we do split with the Falcons. So we'll win at our place. They'll win at theirs. That's how I see it unfolding right now. Without watching any games being played. And then, yeah, we start the season 3-0. I know that sounds delusional. But hear me out with the rest of the schedule. Okay? At number 4, week 4. What am I saying? Week 4 is where we take our first loss of the season to the New England Patriots. They're going to be the much better team this year. I won't say much better, but they will for sure be the better team. Both teams have showed strides, but I like the Patriots a little more. As a realist and not biased, I see the Panthers losing that one. And then week 5, that offense is going to be too much for our defense. Miami's going to beat us. So we go to 3-2. I know this is going to look really rough when you think about it. But it's going to make it, it's going to be like, oh, okay. Week 6, Dallas comes to town. Like, again, the same thing with Miami. That offense is going to be too much for our defense. Especially with Dak, CD, George Pickens. That offense is going to be scary and really hard to handle. I've got Dallas, but I do see us keeping it close. I do see us keeping all these games close. Week 7, we face the Jets. We will get back in the win column with that one. So we move to 4-3. I feel like at this point we're just a better team, with better roster. We have the better quarterback in my eyes. Unbiasedly, we have the better quarterback. I feel like Bryce and Tet will have reached their connection, their chemistry by this point in the season. And we'll just need a get-right game after those 3 losses. I feel like the Jets are the team to do that. Because after that, the next couple weeks are rough. You got according to me, 2 top 5 teams coming up the next 2 weeks in our schedule. The Bills and the Packers, those will, I mean, what do I got to say there? They're going to both eat us. They're both going to eat us alive. Especially if we're going to Lambeau. I mean, the Bills are coming to our house, but that's not going to really matter. And then the Packers are just a much better team, especially Micah Parsons might. I mean, I feel like we do have a good offensive line, but Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary is just too much. But then another get-right game after a couple rough losses. The Saints come to play us in our house. 30-0. Panthers win. I mean, the Saints are trash. The Saints will be trash this year. I mean, there's no other way. And then I will keep my word. I said we would split the Falcons. We'll split the Falcons. So week 11, we lose that game. Week 12, primetime Monday Night Football, Christian McCaffrey finally gets to play us again. Finally gets to play us. We go to San Fran to take on the Niners. This is unfortunately going to be a loss. As much as I want to pick us, I can't really justify it. And again, this will be a game week 13 on my birthday, on my 18th birthday. The Rams will come to our place, but the Rams are a top 10, top 7 team in football. The Rams are a top 7 team in football, so I do have the Rams taking that one. As much as I would love, since I'm probably going to the game, I would love to see us win that one, but I just don't see it. The Rams have a lot of offensive talent that maybe a little too much for our defense, especially Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, and then Matthew Stafford throwing them the ball with Sean McVay at the helm. It'll be rough. So then we go into the bye week at 5-8. I know it looks rough now, but just wait. Week 15, we go to New Orleans. This is a series we're not. This is a series we're just not splitting. I'm sorry, we're just not going to split this series. So we're way better than the Saints. The Saints have nothing. The Saints really have nothing on us. And let's be real. Then week 16, we will take on the Bucks at our place. This will be the first of 2 matchups against the Bucks in 3 weeks. But I do see us beating the Bucks in our place. I know the Bucks are way higher on the power rankings than we are, but I just have this feeling that the Panthers are going to try and make a late playoff push. We have the team to do that. I think by then we'll have developed enough to do that. So give me the Panthers to win at home against the Bucks. And then week 17, same thing, playoff push. Panthers beat the Seahawks. Why does it keep saying loss? Panthers beat the Seahawks. They even the record at 8-8. So they win 3 straight games. They go into the final week at 8-8. Maybe a possible chance to at least make the playoffs. This was easily the hardest game for me to pick out of our schedule. Not really because of the team we're playing, it's because of the situation it is. I want to be biased and pick us so bad, but in Tampa Bay, I just don't see it happening. As much as I would love to see it happen, I just don't see it happening. I don't see us sweeping a team like Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay will take Week 18, putting our final record for the 2025 season at 8-9. With that's the type of season right now I will be very happy with, compared to 2-15 and 5-12 the last 2 seasons. That's another massive improvement from the year before, like last year was compared to the year before. So I would be very happy with this kind of season from the Panthers. I know we have some spots in our schedule that's going to be rough, so I would take 8-9, 100%. There might be a couple games that may change down the line depending on how the first few games of the season look for each of the teams we're playing. But like I said, weekly predictions will be every week. I had weekly predictions. Predict week 1 through week 18. Even the playoff, I'll try and get some in there. So yeah, this is great. It feels great to be back. It feels great that football season is back. Just feels like I don't know why, I just feel like a kid again. It's great. It's great to be back. Great to have y'all back and have y'all ready for this season. I'm doing the best I could to have y'all ready for this season. And the next time you will see me will probably be a post-game reaction after the Panthers beat the Jaguars. Mark my words, they will beat the Jaguars. So I will have a post-game reaction to that one. But until then, I will see you guys in that next one. I hope you guys have a great night, great rest of your week. If you're watching the games this upcoming week or weekend, have fun. I know I will. Peace.